Like other YouTubers, basically I draw tutorials of original concept art based off the Mothman Prophecies movie with the guy was in the film catalog of having made movies in the 80s through the 90s, and probably doesn't make movies anymore, that Richard Gere guy, but I don't know how else to explain. Sort of just having the ability to draw stuff was like originally just to have notion of having sort of like peace with yourself, and then just basically others not seeing that as likely something to have in terms of having heard others and say other things and beyond this notion of I have a mole inside of my face. I had a gummy doll and I had a doll in my hand originally watching Rachel Ray for some reason. My grandma was alive and didn't think nothing of it, and then just basically the media conglomerate made it seem like how they portray somebody as a fucking like having a no idea that they could do something to that notion to that level. I don't like Twitch because Twitch is more awful than YouTube. I mean, at least TikTok, you can dance outside your house and hope to God nothing bad happens to you if you do that. TikTok, for me, is like how YouTube had the audacity to enter like rep regular abilities to having to have notion that everybody sort of sees what you post, and it's nothing really that bad. And even back then, it wasn't this notion of having two-sided to one story, and it didn't add up to where the person was heckling, laughing, saying shit that led up to an argument that no fist was drawn. So if no fist is drawn, nothing happened in between. They can't just go forth and give you life and stuff if they act irrational towards you. I'm just gonna say they're irrational. Unrational. I got like basically worried strands basically before wasn't that bad, but notion of them saying things that don't add up to what really happened. Notion of ADT not coming out of the woodwork and having the participants at the time and place be aware of that in terms of stuff that people watch besides the person on a feed on ADT. So I don't see how, if that happened in terms of stuff, we got proof of all this and they still act irrational. So if you try to say anything else, they act creepy and shit. So I don't know how else to explain. I had the TV up loud because I fucking have to hear them chuckle, laughing, telling me a bunch of crazy shit. It's not everybody, but people dance in TikTok butt ass naked almost. They don't show up to them and do creepy shit to them. So I don't see why the fuck it happened to me. They're on TikTok on beaches, like naked and shit, dancing, twerking. Angry Joe commented on Twitch about how the girl had sex at random on Twitch stream and got like $1 billion probably off having that posted up, and they fucking try to make a mockery out of someone who didn't have any control over whatever the fuck happened. And I have all my teeth. It's just that at one tooth at one point in time it ridges together and it grinds the gears like that character off Family Guy. I don't know how Family Guy get away with all the crazy shit they do in South Park and all that stuff, even though it's animated. That's probably why they're able to push the envelope on that stuff. And that was on TV. Half the stuff you see, Huggies diapers commercials with a guy taking a shower with the kid, and they're not saying anything really that bad, but it's going to forth a notion of having no control what you see on social media, no control over what you see on TV, no control what you see on Twitch. Twitch is fucking the most scariest fucking optical illusion because they have people playing like video games, but some of them, majority of the time, are the MSR fucking shit that have hearing them farting that shit in a swimming pool. That's why I say all that stuff on Twitter, because they do all sorts of crazy shit. This is my last upload. I'm not gonna ever be on any of that platform shit because they somebody was concerned about me but never came out of the woodwork and like reassured me that for whatever reason, if they were concerned about your well-being, I still have the thing on a other phone device that at one point in time, in between the time of having to switch devices, it had an Apple device and have all that on Facebook, everything. So they go forth and try to do some shady shit to someone off something that you don't have no control over with the way they say and act towards one person. I don't see how the fuck they can do that to one person. That's the most crazy shit. And they advertise most crazy shit on television, 4 in the morning. I grew out hair and shit because I didn't know what the fuck to think, and I was at a hospital, not in the photos that I took were from before, but at St. Luke's for a diabetic checkup, and it read off the charts that I had to stay and get bags of fluid because I was dehydrated, and I'm always dehydrated. I always drink stuff, but I barely go to the bathroom because I stream for like 5 hours on end in each duration of the time, and have a whole sort of list of playlists that I was able to go through and play some stuff back at the apartment for 2 years. Then I had a staph infection. I go to every set appointment. You don't have to go at this point to opposite hospital if they're employed by people that are assholes and jerks from not KU standards of having them talk shit and act like they're the mafia when they're not. And just having to explain I'm not talking to them. I didn't even know until I realized, until a guy was chuckling, laughing, telling me a bunch of shit. And I posted on Facebook, and I forwarded it to the authorities. I forwarded it to everybody I knew. And someone that I was a cop at one point in time and retired from the police force saw that and can probably intervene and tell them something that, hey, that shit isn't right what they're doing. Knock it off, or they'll get prosecuted. I'm not in their face about this. If they're fucking looking me up, looking what I'm posting, I'm not making fun of them. I barely even know what the fuck they're on and to be able to talk that crazy shit and be able to get away with it. I lost a bunch of weight, like having to fucking worry about this shit, and I eat a lot. I eat more than what I fucking have worth money that I have to be able to spend this shit, but for whatever reason, the shit isn't a handout. Now I'm just pissed off now. I know dates and times and years. Is October. I had made the account back in 2015, like 8 years ago, close to 7, 8 years ago, 2015. Office having a notion of having something to do other than just having to go to therapy and that, but didn't post the therapy up until I moved back because I had to be prescribed medications that for whatever reason they give you. If you're on something besides that, they check your blood, and I can walk in a hospital and walk out of it. So if I can do that, then they can't tell you otherwise some creepy shit to you. I'm not in their like they're in like the basically someone's yard. Besides the fact, tucking a bunch of creepy shit. At no given time, I'm doing the same shit to them. If I was like basically word, they can't go forth and do that because at the time I was at other fucking either at an appointment or having to go through the shit of having to mock you. I have attorneys and lawyers and shit, so they can't go forth and think that I don't. It's just for whatever reason the roof on one at one point was faulty, and the insurance was held to battle it off something and kept having to change hands. You explain that to them, they act all smart alecky and tell you that you didn't exist, and you have your name on Google. At one point in time, your full fucking name, only the first, middle, and last. I ain't afraid of those fucking assholes. There's fucking fools telling you fucking all sorts of creepy shit. Here, YouTube can probably, whoever was concerned can turn around and probably sue them off for me if they fucking try it. They don't fucking seem to be like fucking like concerned for their own safety. If they fucking try to pull something, they'll get tossed up in something. They don't realize that. They don't realize that I knew a lot more people than go forth and then they can go fuck themselves by telling me a bunch of creepy shit. I have all my fucking teeth. It's just whatever reason being in an apartment for 2 years can fucking go downhill if you don't know if you leave at any point. Fucking whatever reason, shit can be tampered with without you realizing it. Or COVID fucking changed everything to where people are inconsiderate, thinking that it's okay for them to have all sorts of reliable people that back them up. But for me, they're thinking all sorts of creepy shit. So for whatever fucking reason, they can go fuck themselves. Let them play all this shit back in court. What the fuck they have lives is watching me for when they're over there fucking talking shit and don't have a life themselves, talking a bunch of creepy shit. That's probably my final post is that they're gonna be fucking weird towards the person. I don't know. That's the fucking most raggediest fucking shit I've ever had to go through. I have under it no parent advisory, meaning that this wasn't for kids, and you have to be either 18 or older to have either fucking Facebook, a YouTube, a TikTok. They can't have like a 5-year-old kid laughing, telling you a bunch of creepy shit. Or the kid can get thrown up in juvie and see how it really is and be on that A&W fucking shit. That straight shit if they fucking really want to try me. I wouldn't have all this proof for fucking reasons of having them be like the fucking mob and try to act like I didn't fucking exist. And I have all that shit on tape. They don't realize what the fuck you're capable of until they fucking try something, and then I end up having to go forth and sue them all. Whoever was concerned can probably do that for me. All that's on there. They're fucking retarded doing this shit. Here, my nose is shiny. I don't have no blackheads. I take showers every day. I'm clean. I'm not like those fuckers that sit around on Twitch talking shit.